So, My Hero Academia. Why have I chosen this show and its characters to highlight why I love superheroes so much? Well, because I believe this show and its creator Kohei Horikoshi truly understands the essence of what makes a good hero. I'll be sure to go in depth on a few of these characters in later videos because I think all of them deserve it. But even after devouring the first 4 seasons of the anime and the 2 films that have been released so far, the characters are still growing and developing, which is truly a joy to see. But for now, however, I want to focus on the aspects of My Hero Academia that truly capture what being a hero means. And I want to investigate that idea through the universe's symbol of peace, All Might. On the surface, All Might is the average Superman stand-in of this superhero universe. Marvel has the Sentry, The Boys has Homelander, and My Hero Academia has All Might, right? Wrong. All Might isn't a Superman copy despite his costume, muscles, and secret Small Might Clark Kent-esque form. No, All Might is the #1 hero in Japan, and with good reason. Not only does he save people, fight bad guys, and smile whenever he's in his hero form, he also takes the time to autograph victims' notebooks and loudly announce that he is there to rescue and protect people. These actions are what inspires a plethora of the show's heroes, and this is only the surface of All Might's heroic nature. As I mentioned earlier, All Might is Japan's symbol of peace, and in the show it is stated that his presence has dropped the crime rates in Japan drastically. This idea was something that All Might envisioned before he got his powers, and oh yeah, I should probably give a quick breakdown for any viewers who aren't familiar with the show. In My Hero Academia, 80% of the population are born with a superpower known as a quirk. Quirks can range drastically from being a frog, to shooting ice and fire, to having a separate sentient entity residing inside yourself that can sometimes lose control in the dark and become a super dangerous monster. You know, the usual. However, All Might's quirk is unique as he wasn't born with it and instead inherited it from a long line of warriors who tried to stop the big bad of the show, which implies that he had to impress the 7th holder of the power enough with his ideals of such a symbol of peace and its importance before receiving and using that power to become the #1 hero. This power allows Small Might here to channel the power of this quirk into his body in a way that makes him look like the Superman stand-in I was talking about a few moments ago. But what does all this mean in the context of why All Might is a great example of heroism? Well, that's because the symbol of peace is just that, a symbol. In reality, All Might can only utilize his power for up to 3 hours a day when the show opens, as he was grievously wounded by the big bad some years ago. However, despite this limitation, All Might is frequently seen stepping in to help any citizen he can reach. In the first few episodes alone, he is well past his daily limit when we are introduced to him, and yet he holds onto his muscled form long enough to stop a sludge villain from murdering the protagonist, Deku. And once Deku proves his bravery, All Might is inspired to push past his limits once more and save Deku's classmate from the same sludge villain. After confiding in him, All Might tells Deku the words he's always wanted to hear.
Young man, you too can become a hero.
This gives an almost mythic feel to All Might, as he was a powerless man who just wanted to make the world a better place, and was rewarded with the power to do so, and then paid that kindness forward by giving his power to another powerless young man who wanted to change the world. But character studied, I hear you thinking. You still haven't proved how this is a good example of heroism. And to that I say, haven't I? I mean, think about it. This man, this guy right here, convinces almost the whole world on a daily basis that they are safe because he is around. Can you imagine the pressure that he must be feeling? And if that wasn't bad enough, he has to teach a group of aspiring young heroes who were inspired by him, while his hero career is hurtling to a standstill. But if you need one more example as to how he's a hero, then brace yourselves, because I'll be spoiling the back half of season 3 of the show. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. In the climactic battle between All For One and All Might, his facade is broken before the world, and at a time where heroes are a controversial topic, the world gasps in shock at the revelation that All Might isn't always the strong symbol they know him as. The villain makes sure All Might is aware of how frail he appears to be to the rest of the world, and even reveals the crushing truth behind Deku's nemesis Shingaraki, in an attempt to weaken his spirit. However, All Might declares that within his heart he is still a symbol of peace and refuses to yield, using the remaining embers of his power to defeat the villain. And the public? They cheer him on. The entire country refuses to yield with him, and this gives him the encouragement needed to beat All For One. But instead of that being the end of All Might's story, he continues on, guiding and nurturing the students who all still look up to and respect him as a symbol of peace he was. All Might being more than a hero and continuing to be so through inspiring and teaching the next generation shows Horikoshi's intelligence and skill with writing about heroism. It isn't about being the strongest or stopping the most bad guys like the #2 hero Endeavor falsely believes, but it's about making sure that people are safe and content, that they feel protected and defended. and knowing that if it came to it, their hero would fight until his last breath to shield them from the villainous entities in the world. And that is why All Might is a great example of heroism. Thank you for watching. I'm getting back into making more videos, and I have a whole slate planned for the next couple of weeks, including the origins of Superman and why Deadpool 2 is a good sequel, as well as continuing my Daredevil series. Please leave a comment if you enjoyed the video, and let me know what you think about All Might being a great symbol of heroism. Thanks.